Alright, so it's been absolutely pouring all last night and all this morning. I have to start hiking though, because I gotta meet my buddy at Newfound Gap at a reasonable time. I gotta make it there by like 7 or 8 p.m. tonight, so he's not waiting forever. But this is what your tent looks like after it's been raining non-stop, like pouring, just freaking soaked inside. Everything's covered in freaking water. Oh, see, the lens is even, can't even see out of the stupid lens. It's just so, there's just so much, it's so humid. You know, condensation builds and then it all falls off because it's pouring rain and bouncing it off. My quilt's wet, the floor is wet, my hat's soaked, there's like a little puddle. I don't know, fucking water just gets everywhere. Whatever. Alright, sorry for the kind of shit quality. I'm sure the lens is covered in bullshit, but thought this would be a good learning experience. So, when you're picking a campsite when it's gonna rain really hard, you need to really be careful about, like, the flat spots may look great, but they fill up with water. And so, like, here's the example of it. Like, this site would have been awesome, but wherever, like, leaf debris is, like, cleared out and you see hard pack, a lot of the time that means water pools there. So, I could have picked this spot, but I'm a genius, and I didn't. So, I picked this spot that leaned a little bit and helped drain the water. However, I mean, you can see there are still some big puddles where I was. So, I don't know. Shit puddles all over the place. God, this freaking water is running really fast now. Am I going to be able to cross this? The trail's up here. I gotta do a little water crossing here now. Because I'm going to cross up there. So yeah, you just like, you gotta look at the whole terrain and be like, all right, if it's gonna pour tonight, is my spot gonna flood? Dude, I haven't even started hiking today. I'm already going slow. I gotta do freaking almost 33 miles so I can meet my buddy at Newfound Gap and get a place to stay so I can dry out all my shit, because all my shit is soaking wet. God, I'm moving. So I can't even figure out how I want to get across this fucking water. It's a tiny little stream. Well, it was a tiny little stream. Now it's moving a little faster. You idiot. Just find a way across. See, I don't know if that rock, I don't know if you can see, there's like a little horn sticking out. I don't know if that's acceptable to step on, because it might just collapse on me and then I just get totally fuckered. Alright, I'm going to put this camera away so I can get across. Okay, I just spent a lot of mental energy figuring that whole shit out and building myself a bridge to get across. And it's pouring rain, so my feet are going to get wet anyway. I don't know, there's just something about, like, keeping your socks dry as long as possible, which just seems like a priority when it's raining. Even though in 5 seconds they're going to be soaked already. Like, the trail is probably going to be flooded. It's been pouring hard enough where I'm probably going to be walking down a stream in the middle of the trail pretty soon. And I stuck my socks into soaking wet shoes this morning. But still, they're like damp. They're not soaking wet yet. So it seemed worth it. Okay, we've got like, it's not quite 15 miles of straight up this morning, but the majority of it is up. I'm just gonna fucking attack it, try to get up as fast as I can, and then hopefully, since my pack is pretty light, I can do some running once I'm on the ridgeline and get to Newfound Gap at a reasonable time. This is my problem when I have people picking me up. I don't like people doing shit for me, and so I feel like a douchebag for like getting to this place late. Meaning like 8 p.m. because you know, that's someone's entire day they have to like have in the back of their mind, like, oh, I gotta go pick up Scoob, and when's he gonna get there? I'm gonna send him updates, but either way, I really want to get there as soon as possible so he doesn't have to freaking wait up all night for my slow ass. So that's the name of the game today. It is nice having a mission though. you know, something to keep you going. Yeah, like here, this is all flooded. Now I'm gonna freaking walk on the corner of the trail. I need to just suck it up and walk through the middle because I do need to be making time right now. I can't be freaking tippy-toeing all over trail. All right. Supposedly this rain is supposed to stop by like noon, but I was looking at the Doppler radar and it just freaking looks like I'm gonna be like stuck in the eye of the storm all day. So hopefully the forecast is right and not my interpretation of the Doppler. Holy crap, that's a foggy one. This is why you just shouldn't care about keeping your shoes wet that much. Yeah, I could freaking try to cross up there, but whatever, dude. We're in the business of making good time. That means sometimes you just gotta walk right through the water. Right. We are entering the Smokies. Pink, pink, pink. As much as I dislike the Smokies because you have to like stay at shelters or near the shelters and all that, the park is so freaking beautiful. So I love hiking through it. I just don't like camping in it. But I'm gonna circumvent that. So I'm gonna have a really nice time because make it to Newfound Gap tonight, get picked up. So I get to enjoy the Smoky Park all day and then not have to camp in it. And then when I get dropped off, just depending on when I get dropped off, I imagine I won't be able to get dropped off like super early in the morning. And then it's like maybe almost 40 miles out of the park from Newfound. So I might have to camp in the park for a night, but I think I'm doing it pretty good. Limiting my camping around the Smokies. My problem is just like, I don't like staying near shelters because a bunch of mice, a bunch of people, which means a bunch of human filth, and a bunch of bears. Yo, look how cool this is. Oh, dude, super cool. Dang, man, it might clear up. Nice, man. Alright. Hey, if it clears up and I get views like this today, freaking all that rain was worth it. Or at least, I don't mind it. That is awesome. So when everything is wet, it like compresses even more than normal. Like, I don't know, but my pack is super tiny today, especially because, you know, I did this resupply really well, and so I just have enough food to get to Newfound Gap. The frickin' pack is carrying like absolute shit, because all my stuff sits like 8 inches below the shoulder straps. What I should have done, what I need to try to do, you know, now that I have so little gear in this giant 55-liter pack, is I have this compression sack in my sleeping bag. I need to not compress it. I need to leave air in it and have that loft and fill up more space, because this thing just feels like shit today. I like compressed it all, and I've got it super hiked up into the middle of my back, and the hip belt's just, it's around my stomach, not even on my hips. Yeah, it feels like it's this boulder on my back that's just pulling me back. Maybe I just loaded it like shit this morning. It's definitely one of those things where maybe it's because I also removed the frame stays, but I'm not putting those back in, dude. Those screwed up my shoulders. Until I get home and look at a diagram or something on the way those frame stays are meant to be bent and can bend them back to the right shape. I'm not sticking them in. I still got like a bruise on the back end of my left shoulder that smarts every now and then from that frame stay poking me. But yeah, I mean, this is just what happens when you don't switch out gear for the seasons. You know, I still have a freaking winter sleeping pad with an R value of 8.5 and a 10-degree sleeping bag and a 55-liter pack. Like, I've just been too lazy to shuttle out all my new gear. I've just freaking sent things home, but I haven't had any of my summer stuff sent to me. And so you kind of just deal with this Frankenstein pack. That's not ideal. But whatever. Dude, I've only got like, I think by the end of today, like 210 miles left to go. So, what it is. Well, I'm almost done doing most of my climbing for the day. Once I get up onto the ridge, it's like up and down. But I'm guessing I'm gonna just be in the smoke of the Smoky Mountains now for the rest of the day once I get up to elevation. It'll be cool. But dude, I want some views, baby. You know, this is what happens. I got so lucky with weather. With no rain all up north and stuff, so it's just right that I get hammered with rain and clouds at the end here. You know, that's what the AT is. You gotta get hammered by rain to get the full experience. So I was due a lot of this. Dang, so there was an aircraft crash into the side of the Smoky Mountains up here, and I guess someone freaking found this out in the woods and dragged it here. Here, I'm saying, the guide actually tells when this crash happened. I didn't expect to see airplane parts right next to trail. Someone must have gone into the woods and picked those out. Wednesday, January 4th, 1984, U.S. Air Force RF-4C Phantom II disintegrated as it crashed into the Smokies at 450 miles per hour. Dang. That's crazy. So, 1984, 16 plus 26, so 42. 42 years ago, and there's still airplane parts just floating around out here. It's kind of wicked. I think I did that math right. Who knows? I'm not going to recheck. More aircraft parts. Damn, a collision at 450 miles per hour. I imagine the airplane just freaking splattered all over the place. That's wild. Dude, these books by Joe Abercrombie, the First Law trilogy, are so good. At the start, I was like, God, it's kind of slow, but he had to like set up so many different characters. And then I'm on the second book now. I'm just so invested in everybody. They're really good books. Oh, just slipped on a log. Look how cool this trail is. It's beautiful. I just got service and checked the weather, and there's like 40% chance of rain for the next 2 hours. Oh, come on. I don't need that. Just hold off. Just hold off, rain. I got so much this morning. I don't need any more. And it's cooler up here. You know, it's probably like in the 50s. So, that rain would be cold. Come on. Let me make it to Newfound Gap with no rain. I don't want to be wet anymore. There's about 100 birds up here in this little pond. Let's see what they do when I come up. Oh. They flew into the tree. And they flew into the pine tree. Hopefully they go back to their little puddle of water. I didn't mean to ruin their day. Hey. Oh, look at that. We're still getting views. Hey, I'm getting some pretty nice views today. About 10 miles to Newfound Gap. 420. Ooh, 420. I'll take one video with the phone. Maybe that'll capture it better. God, it sure is cool watching the clouds come in and out. Look at that beautiful spine sticking out. I don't know if you can tell. The sun's coming out right now. Damn, dude. The forest really takes on a new shade of green once that sun can shine through, like just a clear blue sky instead of through the clouds. These woods are so cool looking right now. I'm surprised I haven't seen anybody, because I'm about 3 miles from Newfound Gap, so you know that's where people are doing day hikes and stuff, but didn't even look like anybody was at that last shelter. Now granted, I just walked by and no one was set up on the picnic table, but there might have been people deeper in there. Look how cool this is. And beautiful. No people, but we got deer. Holy shit, dude. I'm behind the wheel of a car right now. Haven't driven in 5 months, so this will be interesting. Taking a zero at my buddy Gnome's place. He picked me up from Newfound Gap last night. It's awesome. I've got all my stuff on the porch right now, drying out. It's been raining on me constantly for, I can't even, more than a week, so everything was just like damp, and it's just super nice that it's sunny out right now and I can finally get things crispy for like the first time in forever. So I'm about to head to the grocery store right now, get my resupply, bunch of junk food to eat today, and then I'm just gonna freaking chill out. He's got a badass porch I'm just gonna sit on. I'm just gonna enjoy porch life for the day. I was gonna drive up to Irwin and knock off that section, either do the river ford or the 3 whatever mile road walk to clear my mind of the fact that I broke my continuous footpath, which upon further thought, I actually had already broken my continuous footpath in, is it Caratunk, Maine? Whatever, wherever you cross the Kennebec. I had walked off a trail down to the water, but then I got a hitch down to the Sterling Inn, and then in the morning from the Sterling Inn, we drove further south, and then that's where we crossed the Kennebec. We walked across it because it had frozen, and then walked up. So my footpath was already broken there. But for some reason that doesn't bother me. That section right there doesn't bother me, because that was just like, it's like winter, it's the Kennebec. That thing was just going to be filled with fuckery anyway. But this in Irwin, this one gets me, because it was just like laziness. I wasn't even thinking when I just jumped in the car and went around that I was breaking my footpath again. But yeah, so I just want this back. So I'm not going to do it today. I was going to drive the van all the way up there and do it today. But after all the trails said and done, Pickle is going to drive me up to his place. And on the way up there, we're going to stop in Irwin. So it saves me like an hour and a half drive there and back. So like 3 hours round trip driving today to go do it. And Pickle will help me do it after I finish trail. So it's pretty nice, because all I gotta do now is eat food today and edit videos. I don't know if all that made sense or not. I'm not very good at talking. Yeah, I'm gonna go get Ben & Jerry's ice cream. Gnome's house is literally 5 minutes away from the food line where I resupplied at. I can't wait. I had to like buy, whatever pre-made food it is. I got this giant thing of Buffalo Ranch wing sauce. Dude, I finally got my appetite back. It's so nice. Just so hungry I can't even wait 5 minutes. I have to eat now. Alright, it's a sad day. I really had high hopes for these shorts. Path Path Project shorts. They're expensive ass shorts. But just as in any other pair of shorts I've ever worn, I blew out the crotch on these, man. I mean, look at this hole we're dealing with. I've been dealing with this with a while. I've been hanging on to this thing, but Gnome just gave me another pair of shorts. So I'm going to rock these to the end just because I'm tired of having my balls hang out of my shorts, man. Look at this freaking hole we've been dealing with. Look how big this thing is. My entire hand. You know? Things can slip out of this hole. That's not a responsible hole. And it was even ripping on the other side. I had such high hopes for these. Like, they're freaking, like, they seem like they're beefy pants that are going to hold up. But the only point of a pair of pants that I've ever had problems with that I need to hold up, these pants are just like any others. Freaking big ass hole in the crotch. It's alright, whatever. I'm going to throw these away. Sorry, Path Projects. You're just like any other pair of shorts. You blow out in the crotch for me. So I think that's a lesson. Do not freaking spend an assload on a pair of shorts for a thru hike, because they're just going to freaking wear out like any other pair of shorts. Thumb skis, dude. Look at the patina these things are starting to get on them. They're starting to look cool. Like all the seams, like the dye was coming out, so it's turning a little gray. If only they had a better crotch on them. Maybe for the average man they would work, but not for me with my freaking... I don't know what it is. Is it the way I walk? Or is it a highly acidic nut sweat that wears through the shorts? I don't know. I've had a great 0 day today. I haven't really edited any videos, so I gotta do that now. But yeah, I've just been chilling on the porch. These shorts are a 7-inch inseam. You know? I'm entering dad mode. The older you get, the longer the shorts get. And by the time you're like 60, you pretty much wear capris. You're way past the knee. So, yeah, dude, I think this is a coming of age moment. These are like 7 to 9 inch inseams right here. I'm becoming an old man. Yep.